Welcome back to Torah portions. This is Exodus 37, 38. We are in it. Make sure you watch my last episode. Click the card right above. You see how I did this? This is amazing. Look like black women and black women up in heaven. We're gonna sin eventually, but we are. Ready? Let's go. So, if you watch my last episode, the Bible study method I am doing is the easy method. This is so much fun. You learn so much. Okay, so the E stands for entering into the text. We will be entering into the text eventually. It says Bezaleel and Liba is making the furniture of the tabernacle and other items that's inside of the tabernacle. So let's see. And Bezalel made the this is chapter 37. Made the ark of the shittim wood 2 cubits and a half was the length of it, and a cubit and a half the breadth of it, and a cubit and a half the height of it. He overlaid it with pure gold within and without, and made a crown of gold to it round about. And he cast for it 4 rings of the gold to be set by the 4 corners of it, even 2 rings upon the one inside of it, and 2 rings upon the other side of it. It says, and he made a slave of the shittim wood overlaid with gold, and he put the slave into the rings by the sides of the ark to bear the ark, and he made the mercy seat of pure gold. 2 cubits and a half was the length thereof, and 1 cubit and a half the breadth thereof. And he made 2 cherubim of gold, beaten out of one piece made he them on them. They're male. He made them. Who said it? Somebody said these 2 cherubim, one is male, one is female. Was that me? My bad. But I think it was Tila or Wife of Jesus Christ talking about this. He them. When you think about he them, think about Genesis 1 and 26 and 27. And read it in the King James. And y'all see what I'm talking about. On the 2 ends of the mercy seat, 1 cherubim on the end of this. You know what? Let's see. 250. I'm gonna link another card to the first to Genesis 1. I'm gonna link that. What's that? 250. I'm gonna mark that down. 245 or 250. Genesis card. Okay. Okay. It says 1 cherubim on the end of the sides and another cherubim on the other end on that side of the mercy seat, and made he the cherubims on the 2 ends thereof. And the cherubim spread out their wings on high, and they covered with their wings over the mercy seat with their faces to one another. Even to the mercy seat were the faces of the cherubim. And he made the table of the shittim wood 2 cubits of length thereof, and the cubit the breadth thereof, and the cubit and a half the height thereof. It says, okay. And he made the vessels which were upon the table, his dishes and his spoons and his bowls and his cover to cover were all of pure gold. And he made the candlesticks of pure gold, of beaten work. Made he the candlesticks his slave, and his branch, his bowls, his knobs, and his flowers were of the same. And 7 branches going out of the sides thereof, 3 branches of the candlesticks out of the one side thereof, and 3 branches of the candlesticks out of the other side thereof. It says, and he overlaid it with pure gold, and made thereunto a crown of gold round about. Also he made thereunto a border of hand breath round about, and made a crown of gold for the borders thereof round about. And he cast for it 4 rings of gold, and put the rings upon the 4 corners that were in the 4 feet thereof. Over against the border were the rings, the places from the slave to bear the table. And he made the slave of the shittim wood and overlaid them with gold to bear the table. 3 bowls made after the fashion of almonds in one branch, a knob, a flower, and 3 bowls made like almonds in another branch, a knob and a flower. So throughout the 6 branches going out of the candlesticks, and in the candlesticks were 4 bowls made like almonds, his knobs and his flowers, and a knob under 2 branches of the same, and a knob under 2 branches of the same, and a knob under 2 branches of the same, according to the 6 branches going out of it. It says their knobs and their branches was of the same. All of it were one beaten work of pure gold, and he made his 7 lampstands, 7 lamps, and his snubs and his snuff dishes of pure gold. Of a talent of pure gold made he it in all the vessels thereof. He made the incense altar of shittim wood. The length of it was the cubit, and the breadth thereof a cubit. It was four square, and the 2 cubit, 4 square, and 2 cubit was the height of it, and the horns thereof were of the same. And he overlaid it with pure gold, both the top of it and the sides thereof round about, and the horns of it also he made unto it a crown of gold round about, and he made 2 rings of gold for it under the crown thereof, by the 2 corners of it, upon the 2 sides thereof, to be places for the slave to bear it withal. And he made the slave of shittim wood, and overlaid it with gold. He made the holy oil and the pure incense a sweet spice according to the work of the apothecary. A. A is to assess simple truths. It says 7 lamps equals to 7 spirits of God if you read Revelations. And I feel like in Zechariah or Revelation said how the 7 spirits roam the earth. It says oil represents prosperity, blessing, stability. Oil likes lamps, lotion for skin and hair, medical properties, anointing corpse and refreshing bodies. And this is the tabernacle on the inside. Oh, I got a special treat for y'all. Right, talking about this tabernacle. It's gonna be a separate video. This is this is like God's house. Don't this look like a tiny house, y'all? Okay, Exodus 38. He made the altar of the burnt offering of shittim wood. 5 cubits was the length thereof, and 5 cubits the breadth thereof. It was 4 square, and 3 cubits the height thereof. He made the horns thereof on 4 corners of it. The horns thereof were of the same. Shit. And he overlaid it with brass. He made all the vessels of the altar, the pots and the shove and the basin and the flesh hook and the fire pans, all vessels thereof made he of brass. He made for the altar a brass grated of network under the compass thereof beneath unto the midst of it. And he cast 4 rings for ends of the grade of the brass to be places for slab. He made the slab of shittim wood and overlaid them with brass. He put the slab into rings on the side of the altar to bear it withal. He made the altar hollow with boards. He made the lever of brass and the foot of it of brass of the looking glass of women similarly. The looking glass, that sounds like a mirror, which symbol at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. He made the courts on the south sides and southward. The hanging of the courts were of fine twined linen and 100 cubits. Their pillars were 20, and their brass and sockets 20. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets were silver, and for the north side, the hangings were in 100 cubits. Their pillars were 20, and their sockets of brass 20. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver, and for the west side were hanging of 50 cubits. Their their pillars 10, and their sockets 10. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. And for the, wait, oops, my bad. And for the east side, east were 50 cubits. The hanging, oh, I need to push that over. Right. The hanging of one side of the gate was 15 cubits. Their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. And for the other side of the court gates on this hang on this hand and on that hand was hanging of 15 cubits. Their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. All the hangings of the court round about were of 5 twined linen, and the sockets for the pillars were of brass. The hooks of the pillars and their fillet of silver, and the overlaying of their chapters of silver, and all the pillars of the courts were filled with silver. And the hanging for the gate of the court was needlework of blue and purple, and scarlet and fine twined linen. And 20 cubits was the length, and the height and the breadth was 5 cubits, answerable to the hangings of the court. And their pillars was 4, and their sockets of brass 4. The hooks of silver, and the overlaying of their chapters, and their fillets of silver. And all the pins of the tabernacle and the court round about were of brass. This is the sum of the tabernacle of testimonies, that it was counted according to the commandments of Moses for the service of the Levites by the hand of Ithamar, son to Aaron the priest, and Bezalel, the son of Uri, and Huri, and the son of Uri of the tribe of Judah, made all that the Lord commanded Moses. And with him was Hobiel, son of Ishamash of the tribe of Dan, an engraffer, and a cunning work, and of embroider in blue, and in purple, and in scarlet, and fine linen. Okay, I just also want to say these men are carpenters, but they also are fashion designers, because the word, I say embroider. That's what I say. That's what I think. So let's continue on. All the gold that was accomplished for the work, and all the work of the holy place, when the gold of the offering was 29 talents, and 730 shekels. After the shekel, oh, I should have looked up shekels. My bad. We just looked up talents. My bad. After the shekel um of the sanctuary, and the silver of them was the number of the congregation was in 100 talents, and 1,000 and 1,730 score and 15 shekels, after the shekel of sanctuary. I'm gonna make that as a note, since I didn't put it in the slide. I'm gonna put make video about shekels. Yeah. Okay. 100 congregation was 100 talents, and 1,703 score and 15 shekels, after the shekels of the sanctuary. We have A. We still at A. A talent of silver contains 3,000 shekels, which is 94 and 3/7 pound. Talent of gold doubles in weight. A talent in Hebrew is called a kitar. In Greek is talion. A talent equals to 6,000 denarians, and the denarians is in Greek. 24. A bekel from every man is half a shekel, after the shekel of a sanctuary. for everyone that went to be numbered from 20 years old and upward, for 600,000 and 3,550 men, and of 100 talents of silver cast the socket of the sanctuary and the socket of the veil, and 100 sockets of 100 talents, a talent for socket. It says, and of 1,775 shall he hook for the pillars, and overlaid their chapters, and filleted them. And the brass of the altar was 70 talents, and 2,400 shekels. And therewith he made the sockets to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the brazen altar, and the brazen grave for it, and all the vessel of the altar, and the socket of the court round about, and the socket of the court gate, and all the pins of the tabernacle, and all the pins of the court round about. S. Seek God. God got skin like brass, shittim wood, and gold. It makes me proud of my melanin skin. God got wings like angels. I put in my other notes like cherubim, like they're white and they're big. But personally, we're going to do more research about a cherubim and how many wings they have. I know a seraphim has at least like 6, 8 wings. 2 for the face, 2 for flying. Yeah, I'm going to say 6. And based on the mercy seat, God is merciful. This is S, seek God. Now, why? We come to the close. And it says, why is yearn for a heart change? Okay, why? Be merciful. That's what that this taught me. And then also, most importantly, is I want to work with my hands more like the men who worked on the tabernacle. Please be advised, all general comments are accepted. If you disagree with something I say, you have the right to do so. But if you tag me outside on a personal outside the scriptures and resort to name calling and childish behavior, you will get read and blocked. And also, I'm gonna keep your comment up. This screen is old. If you disagree with something I teach, that is fine. You have the right to do so. But cite your source with other biblical texts, other sacred texts, because I deal with scriptures and not opinions. Make sure you watch my last episode, and then also, if you want to, you can watch the whole playlist. Thank you and have a blessed day.